Greg Gutfeld went berserk over student debt elimination. This is hilarious.
After he announced the White House has no plans to extend the current pause on federal student loan repayments.
I have over $17,000 in student loan debt. We have a moral obligation, an economic obligation, a political obligation to cancel student loan debt.
I worked full-time Monday through Friday and took weekend classes to get my law degree, and still close to $200,000 in debt.
You know what? Screw you. No one has to pay your damn debt. That's on you. It is not a moral obligation on anybody for the decisions that you make. Hell, why don't we do this? You know what's better? Forget the student loan. I just saw that. I'm sorry. Why not do car loan debt, Dagan? Because you know what? That's more egalitarian. They probably, AOC probably doesn't have a car in New York, right? She doesn't need one, or she has a driver. I bet that driver has car loan debt. Why don't we do car loan debt? That's probably about 17 grand too. That's more for the working class than for these overeducated, over-caffeinated idiots.
Yeah.
The idea that student loan debt elimination is not for the working class is the dumbest myth I've heard in a while, and it's actually a very pervasive myth. They did a poll recently. 89% of people with student loan debt are not financially secure enough to start paying it back on February 1st, which is when they want to bring it back. 89%. So does that sound like they come from wealthy families or they're personally wealthy if 89% of them can't afford to start making the payments again? The idea that it's not for the working class is absurd. Now, by the way, you want to talk about car loan debt elimination? Based. I'm open to that conversation. That's reasonable to me. I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, we have such a terrible public transportation system in this country, and so people are reliant on cars, and so it seems like a perfectly reasonable thing for the commons to be involved in, for the public to be involved in. I'd much rather have my money go towards that than go towards endless wars, then go towards bailing out Wall Street to the tune of trillions of dollars, then go towards oil subsidies for ExxonMobil and Chevron. So based, I'm willing to have that conversation. Of course, he's saying that facetiously. He's not in favor of eliminating either one. But notice something. I've never seen Greg Gutfeld get that mad over an illegal war or drone bombings killing innocent people or corruption. He got the most fired up at the idea of eliminating student loan debt. That's what got him the most fired up that I think I've ever seen. Imagine having your morality and your ethics and your worldview that warped, where that's where you save your anger and your energy for. That's the topic that gets you going. That lights a fire in your belly. Let me give everybody a little bit of context here. So not only am I in favor of student loan debt elimination, I'm also in favor of rolling student loan debt elimination, so free college, or I'd be in favor of a free college bill, a standalone free college bill on its own. Just to put this in perspective for everybody, in Brazil, there's no tuition for college. Germany, college is free. Finland covers room and board. France, no tuition, but they charge a whopping $200. Norway, Norwegian students, including foreigners studying in the country, do not have to pay any tuition. Slovenia, no tuition. Sweden, free college. This idea that comes from these people who love to scream that the U.S. is number one in the world, and then you say, hey, can we do a basic thing that catches us up to the rest of the developed world? And they're like, no, we can't do that. That's crazy. Fuck off. God, I hate these people so much. Stop trying to make people feel insane for wanting the absolute basic bare minimum. And that's what they do. That's Fox News' whole existence is to do that. Pretend like they're for the working class, and then turn around and slap down every idea that would help the working class. Oh, God, it's so gross. I hate it so much. By the way, to extend what they're saying here to its logical conclusion, do these guys want to scrap the public high school education we have in this country? What about middle school? What about elementary school? It's the same principle, right? So you could easily say, hey, take out a loan to go to middle school. What's wrong with you? Oh, you owe money for going to middle school? Well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's on you, son. No, everybody looks at, in this country, everybody looks at elementary school, middle school, and high school as like, well, what are you talking about? That's the public that we pay taxes, and the taxes go to that, and that's a reasonable thing we want taxes to go towards because we want the next generation to be educated, of course. But with the logic that they're using, why wouldn't they also scream about, hey, pay for your own high school, pay for your own middle school, pay for your own elementary school. Oh, you have debt? Well, that's on you. You take care of that on your own, goddammit. So it's so arbitrary. Their anger is so arbitrary. I think none of that should be privatized. Pre-K, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, and college should all be free at the point of service, paid for by taxes, instead of us funding endless wars, 900 military bases, multi-trillion-dollar Wall Street bailouts, and every other dumb thing that we fund with our money, with our corrupt government. Now, please, go cosplay again and tell me how you're fighters for the working class and blue-collar people, when every single policy you advocate for is to stab those people in the back and twist the knife. Greg Gutfeld. Oh, man. Total hack. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.